And speaking about beef and strife, you know, it comes to the topic of Clubhouse. Now, I love me some Clubhouse. You can find me in there getting into it with into some great rooms. I'm a Brit, but I like to go into some American rooms, black American rooms. But what I find sometimes, can I be real? What I find sometimes going in those rooms in the club is I go into a room, it's all good. I may even be brought up on stage. But as soon as I open my mouth, I don't know about you, American friends, please let me know in the comments below. Do I talk funny? Am I too fast? Is my accent too English? Am I like Downton Abbey? Do I sound like the Queen? Or well, we ain't got a king. Yeah. Do I sound like that? Yeah. Do I sound like, you know, like a typical white British dude? Because I don't think I do. You know, believe it or not, there are significant numbers of black people in the UK, particularly London, and we'd sound very different from our Caucasian counterparts. But anyway, I open my mouth sometimes, and I'm not saying anything controversial, so I'm not saying I opened my mouth and I said something terrible because I'd be yeeted so fast from that room if I did. It's just that sometimes no one picks up on what I've said, and sometimes I can tell that they're thinking, who's this dude in here? Because often I've been the only Brit in the room because I love you Americans. I love my family. I've got American family. I love America. But somehow I don't think sometimes America has loved me, but I will still persevere. I will still go in the rooms and make contact, so you ain't getting rid of me. But I'm just curious in terms of, I'll go into some rooms and you'll get some rooms that are about like town hall meetings. So you've got like black town hall meetings. We'll hear the issues in Clubhouse about discrimination. Some black members of Clubhouse feel that they're not brought up on stage in predominant like white rooms, or they're not given the respect and kudos, or they're invisible, or, you know, maybe their names are mispronounced, or there's subtle microaggressions. I can't verify that or not. I'm sure it happens. I believe many of these stories. But I've also found it that when you've gone into sometimes black American rooms, if you're not American, you know, or black, you're sometimes not really engaged with. Sometimes you're not really, of course you'll be allowed to speak because no one knows where you come from until you open your mouth, unless they dig on your bio. When you do speak, sometimes the engagement is lacking, and sometimes you feel like, you know, you've intruded. So I'm like, yo, maybe in your rooms, this might not be allowed, but who knows? Say, we don't want your British ass in the group. We only want it for our people in the room. So at least if I come in, I can decide to go mosey on down to another room, you know, or at least crash the room and pretend I'm American. I'm an actor. I might put on my fake American accent and see how I do. I'm kidding, guys. Don't take this too seriously. I think the point of what I'm saying is that I think it's a good thing to exchange. We're cousins, black British people, those in Africa, Caribbean, America. We have some things that we have in common because we come from the same root. Yeah, of course we have our differences. And then, you know, no, not even all black people in one country are the same. You know, black Brits in England, we've got different subcultures. You guys in America, if you're in the South, Atlanta, you're going to be different to the West Coast, like in LA. You know, there's similarities, but you're not exactly the same. So I'm not going to give the impression, the false impression that, yo, we're all one, because we're different. But we also have other things in common, unfortunately. We know what it's like to struggle because of this. We have certain things in common because of our shared ancestry and heritage. So all I'm saying is let's make the club okay for all. Because just like, you know, the nightclubs back in the day, I haven't been in a very long time. That's not my thing. You're in the club and you're just trying to shake your leg and have a good time. And you got these brothers standing on the wall like, yeah, looking like they want to punch your face in. And if you accidentally step on their Nikes, you're getting jumped. We don't want that. We want the club to be a place that is free for everyone. It's inclusive and welcoming. And if you see my face in the club called House, say hello. And come to some of my rooms that are coming in the future and invite me along. And, you know, how you doing? We'll make friendships. We'll we'll exchange stories, and we'll all be better off for it. You dig? Wakanda forever. Anyway, Wakanda forever! T'Challa. If Clubhouse was around when Black Panther came out, there'd be so many Wakanda rooms, it'd be crazy. You'd have the vibranium room for tech. You'd have like Shuri, all the Shuris talking about how they can sort of, be, black scientists and geniuses. You'd have people talking about the Wakanda dress code. I'm sure you'd have rooms just swooning about Michael B. Jordan. You'd have a room for the late Chadwick Boseman and how he made us all proud representing a black superhero, an African superhero at that. Man, it would have been so cool if Clubhouse was around when Black Panther came out. The rooms would have been popping. There would have been so much fun. There would have been so much way to celebrate. I remember going to the cinema with a good friend of mine, Ammon, and we dressed up in native African wear, and so many people at the European premiere did the same. It was like fancy dress, you know what I mean? But like African royalty. It was all regal, all to celebrate this moment in cinematic history. The film was alright. It was good. I had a good time. Ryan Coogler, he smashes it. It wasn't the masterpiece or second coming of cinema that some people were saying it was. But the fact that it had black people in it, mostly not dying, looking royal, looking regal, kicking ass, and being superheroes, what was there not to love? All the stuff online with you guys in America particularly, you guys went in, man. You went into the screenings. You dressed up, you turned up, you were having watch parties, and I was envious, man. I would have loved to have been there to see some of those screenings in person, but I had a good time watching online. And Wakanda forever.